everyone. My name is Zion, and for my part of the paper, I will be talking about the biological background relating to emperor penguins. So, just starting with the geographic range, emperor penguins are uniquely adapted to survive in extremely harsh temperatures down to about negative 50 degrees Celsius. These birds are larger in comparison to other species of penguins, and these marine birds live exclusively in the Antarctic, typically closer to the coast so that they still have access to open sea. For their breeding seasons, as far as location, they migrate to ice shelves during breeding, and ice shelves just refers to any permanent floating ice sheets that extend from icy land masses, and they form ice sheets that slowly flow to the sea after breaking off from glaciers or being carved by ice streams, and these just help to prevent any wind draft or crosswinds that may come to protect these birds. Most of the time after breeding is spent on densely packed ice, and this again just goes back to having room for open sea for foraging, and they are typically located on the open ocean after breeding time. As far as physical descriptions, these birds usually range from about 101 to 132 centimeters tall, which is 3.3 to 4.4 feet tall. When they are born, emperor penguins do not have any of the colors that they would, like in the picture on the left that you see. They are actually born without feathers and they have gray fur, and they get their yellow and black color when they mature. So they have long black and pinkish orange stripes. They have patches of orange and yellow on their breasts and heads when they mature. And then the ear regions have patches of orange and yellow that fade into white. And just to go off of that, the undersides are completely white up to their necks, which gives them that tuxedo look that everybody pictures when they see them. And males usually weigh more, but both lose and gain weight quickly during breeding seasons. And the males are heavier due to the fact that they have to incubate the eggs while the mother goes to get food. Emperor penguins are endothermic, which basically means they are warm-blooded creatures. And just as a reminder, endothermic refers to any organism that is dependent on or capable of internal generation of heat. As far as reproduction, the reproductive maturity of emperor penguins is about 4 to 6 years old. This seems pretty early to us because humans typically last longer than 15 to 20 years, but the average lifespan for these emperor penguins is pretty short. It's only 15 to 20 years. Um, the annual breeding cycles are synced with Antarctic sea ice cycles, and these birds participate in monogamous relationships, which means that there is one male per one female. The courtships are also pretty long. They last up to about 6 weeks. And these species of penguins use vocal noises to find mates. After bonding, they no longer vocalize just to prevent disturbances with other emperor penguins that are seeking to find mates. So they don't want to disturb with that. And the vocal communication returns after laying eggs, and it's one egg per mating season.
Hi everyone, my name is Sierra, and I'm going to be talking about global warming and the effect it's having on emperor penguins, along with how it can lead to a possible extinction of the species. Emperor penguins have evolved a physiology that thrive in the extremely cold temperatures of the Antarctic Ocean. They are flightless birds that rely on the ocean for food and the Antarctic ice for breeding, mating, and caring for their young. The increase in automobiles, industrialization, and deforestation has led to an increase in greenhouse gases and pollution being released into the atmosphere. This has resulted in ocean acidification and global warming. Ocean acidification is causing a disruption not only to the food supply of the emperor penguins, but to the entire Antarctic food chain. Global warming is causing the Antarctic ice that the penguin rely on to melt. According to Alex from Smithsonian Magazine, 98% of emperor penguins will be extinct by the year 2100. Extinction of the emperor penguins would affect the entire Antarctic ecosystem, including an overgrowth of prey, predators having to look for a new feeding source, and potential extinction of other organisms as a result.
Looking into future directions and studies, we can look at several things, including potential to affect humans if the species is lost, things we can do to stop and limit greenhouse gases, ways we can fix the damage that has already been caused by the greenhouse gases, and other options that we can take that doesn't include greenhouse gases to help mitigate global warming. The potential to affect humans if the species is lost includes diversity in the Antarctic. We study the emperor penguins because they are the largest marine bird. They can survive the harsh environment of the Antarctic, and they are able to dive to deep depths and last longer without food. They eat fish, squid, and crustaceans, and could be a keystone species of the Antarctic. Losing these penguins can cause the ecosystem to be thrown out of balance. To limit greenhouse gases, we have to know what they are. Two major players are carbon dioxide and chlorofluorocarbons, among others, that are caused by burning fossil fuels for modes of transportation, electricity, and heat in the winter. To limit greenhouse gases, we need to decrease our carbon footprint. Ways to do this is to build more efficient buildings, build more efficient cars and homes. We can also drive less and carpool more and limit the amount of flying we do. Next, we need to look at trying to fix the damage that has already been done to the environment by the greenhouse gases. Unfortunately, once the damage is done, it takes a while for it to correct itself. Fossil fuels collect in the environment after we consume them by driving or burning them. And it can take about thousands of years for it to return back to the rock from that air. So other options we can try to preserve the species. So if we can't control climate change and we have already reached the point of no return, there's just a few options. So we can preserve the penguins in sanctuaries or zoos. Only a few zoos currently have emperor penguins, and so that would help us keep the species alive. We can also count on evolution as a factor. So we can hope that the penguins can evolve as their environment changes with them.